All right, how you doing there, ladies and gentlemen? This is Darren McGriff, and this is our show. It's not political, it's personal, and it's not personal, it's political. So let's get this party started, and let me go ahead and bring up your host for today's show. He's been on there since the beginning. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Mr. I will run off every host that you get. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Driver. Uh-oh, there he is. There he is. And then the person that I was originally going to ask to be on the show. And then he said, well, who's going to be the other guest? I said, your buddy, Victor Driver. Then he hung up on me, so I ain't got time for that. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Mr. Juarez McCann.
What up? What up?
All right, gentlemen, how you doing?
Hey,
Everybody,
good to see you.
Everybody been good?
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. We can hear you just fine. All right. Well,
Hold on a minute. Might be me. I got an echo. Let me put my headphones on.
all right, well, put your headphones on. Let's get this party started. If you got any questions or comments, y'all just type them in and I'll let them go ahead and respond to them. If not, sit back, relax, kick your feet up. This is
McGriff.
Yeah. What's up?
Keep talking.
I can hear you.
Sound like you can't hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you just fine.
Oh, okay. You got an echo.
You got an echo. We good.
Oh.
All right, so let's get this party started. Ladies and gentlemen, like I said, they get ready to go. Well, they ain't really going to go at it. They're just going to discuss the thing. Well, you know something? Speaking of that, I think I do want to go at it real quick. Hold on.
Boy, here we go.
Hold on just a minute.
The silent host here.
Yeah, that's right. I just where is it here? Let me pull up this thing because you know Victor be sending out stuff all day, every day. So is it my
y'all get the light stuff. I haven't sent you the heavy stuff.
Oh, okay. Okay, heavy stuff. All right.
Yeah, seriously.
All right. So you remember? Did you see that? Can you see that?
Yeah.
So you see that picture that you sent me or put out there about the Chinese in Canada?
Mm-hmm.
And you see that story? It says the observation post. It got the date. It got the writer's name and everything. It says no, Chinese troops are not on the Canadian border. And this is the dangers of misinformation. I just want to throw that up there real quick. That's all. I just want you. You see who it is. You can go read that story yourself and compare it to the one that you sent out or you put out. So that's all I had to say. Now the silent host is.
I'm not silent. If you want me to speak, you're still talking, so I wasn't interrupting you.
Now you call me the silent host, so the silent host is getting ready to be silent. So I let y'all at it.
Oh.
So y'all
Well, there were Chinese troops on the border, and there are Chinese troops who are coming in from the southern border. Yeah, they were knocked out by our Air Force and by the rods of God they dropped from sky. They hit the ground so hard that it's like a nuclear explosion without all the contamination.
So who bombed the Chinese on the Canadian border?
The U.S. Air Force.
Oh, the U.S. Air Force. And Canada was okay with that? Yeah,
Canada has a new Prime Minister, Queen, Commander-in-Chief. She's a native of Canada, a native Indian. Trudeau's no longer there. The Queen of England traditionally was running Canada, but the Queen of England and her family, they weren't even British, they were German. That whole thing, they hijacked that throne. But all those royal families around the world are gone. As a matter of fact, their living area is shut down in London. They're not there.
So hold on, before you get into that information, I don't know. I can't speak too much on the royal families and who is in where and all of that because I didn't prepare for that. today.
Okay, that's fine.
So that can be another conversation. And I don't want, I'm not, I can't make
That's
any
fine. I don't really
comments
expect a
on that.
comment. I'm just sharing.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
asked me a
Okay.
question.
Well, thank you.
Yeah,
Okay,
I'm not
thank
expecting you to respond to anything I say because, I mean,
So, so
there's a lot of stuff.
It's been a minute. It's been a minute since we've
Good to
been
see
on
you.
together.
Yeah, good to see you, bro.
Yeah. Good to see you too, Victor. So I have a smorgasbord of information for you.
Okay, I figured you
But
did.
first, I want to get to you because you had an assignment, and your assignment was to find out, looking at the Constitution, how else Donald Trump could take over as president, other than the two avenues that are listed in the Constitution.
The 25th Amendment, I believe. You're correct. Yes. Those two items are in the Constitution. So my answer to how Joseph Biden will be leaving the White House, he would just voluntarily leave, or they would exercise. So that ain't happening.
Because if he voluntarily leave, then Kamala Harris goes into office. So that ain't happening.
Well, actually, no. But I mean, technically, she should be.
Well, it's in the Constitution.
And it is, but the whole problem with that is we're not. See, the problem with the things I present is, no, you do not have access to the information unless you see it for yourself. And even then, you may not believe it. So that United States corporation is dissolved, is bankrupt, it no longer exists. That's why DC is basically shut down. So Biden is going to be, he's going to leave office. However he leaves it, whether it's through the 25th Amendment, which really isn't a Congress there to do it, but okay, or he voluntarily steps down. But Kamala will never be president of the United States. And Biden, that's not even the real Joe Biden or the real Kamala. So that company is going to be, that corporation is already dissolved. It doesn't exist. It has no power other than what the U.S. military allows it to do.
Okay, so this is my problem, Victor. Man, just like you just said, you said that there is information that I don't have access to, and unless I've read it somewhere, and you're relatively correct. But the thing that I keep presenting back to you over and over and over again, which when I first debate, you said very vehemently you believed in the Constitution and you were a supporter of the Constitution. Do you still feel that?
Absolutely.
Okay, so everything that I'm not going on speculation or what somebody has said or what has been read in the article. Only thing that I'm going basing what I'm discussing with you is what's in the Constitution. Now, the only way you just said that the only way that Joe Biden can leave is there are three ways. You're right. The 25th Amendment, he can be impeached, or he can voluntarily step down. So yes, those are the three ways that he can leave office. But if he steps down, there's not another election. There's not somebody strange that comes out. The Constitution has it detailed in the Constitution what happens in the event that he leaves office. If he's killed or he steps down, the vice president is to assume the role of president. Now, that's in the Constitution. Forget all of what everybody else is saying, all the conspiracy theories, all that other stuff is not relevant if it's not referring back to the Constitution.
Well, it's not relevant because for most people, it's unknown. What I'm talking about is not known. So I understand that. But what, Nancy Pelosi, has she stepped down yet? I heard she's supposed to be stepping down.
No, she has not.
Okay. Well,
but if she steps down, let's go there. So if Kamala Harris doesn't go to the presidency, then Nancy Pelosi is next in line to go to the presidency. It's all spelled out in the Constitution, Victor. I don't understand.
Yes, it is.
I don't think that's what would happen.
Because when things are revealed, those people, it will be revealed to you that those people are actually not running anything. See, okay, because I can go off on a lot of different tangents. I don't want to do that because I understand where you're coming from with that. I can go off on 100 different tangents. I have 200, 300 sources of stuff I'm talking about for a year. It's just I have to stick with what I know, with the evidence, not with the appearance that's on the news, the regular
But I'm not
news.
talking about the news, Victor.
Or I understand. I'm saying, well, you aren't, but still, that's your reference point for a lot of what's currently going on. I mean, correct? I mean, is that correct? On what's currently going on, what you see on the news has some relevance to what you're seeing as being actually happening, right?
Well, I mean, I'm not sure what you're referring to. What are you talking about? What's actually happening? I don't see anything happening. What I know is happening is Joe Biden is the president. Donald Trump is not the president, and Donald Trump will not resume as president, outlined in the Constitution. That's the only thing. That's the only thing that we're talking about right now.
And that would be absolutely true, except that that's not the whole detail of what's going on. And I mean, I'm not going to present a bunch of stuff to you because I know that gets really crazy. But all I can say for sure is you're right about what the Constitution says. And I believe and abide by the Constitution.
Okay.
But in this situation where there's been treason against and cheating on the voting and human trafficking and so forth, crimes against humanity, all of that is being dealt with. It's just that we're not seeing it. Of course, you may have, I don't know, has the news mentioned that there are tanks and military equipment traveling all over the country right now on trains?
I haven't seen it. I haven't
Yeah, because
seen
the news is not going to show you that. Alternative news is showing you that. They got the video, they got all that stuff on there showing it. There's a lot of activity going on.
Okay, so let's talk about the alternative news that you subscribe to. So you sent me
I sent you a link.
You sent me a link to some of those alternative news.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and one of them is Be First News or First News?
Before It's News.
Before It's News. Before It's News. Right.
.com.
Okay. So do you know if Before It's News have real journalists?
They have citizen journalists. Now, I will say that just like any news, I don't believe everything that's on anybody's website. I look for other sources to confirm different things. Okay. So I don't take just one person's reporting or whatever. And the reason I can't do that is because some people really like, okay, they're talking aliens and stuff. All right, well, they're demons, but they're not aliens. But also because the timelines change because of the stuff we don't know that's going on. That's why, like, I didn't set a definite date for when Trump's here, except to say before January next year, because I know that things keep changing. So, also know, like, for instance, that the president and his family and the cabinet and their families are constantly being shifted to different locations because the bad guys are making their last move.
You know that?
Because I have multiple sources that confirm it for me. So see, my sources are reliable. Okay, go ahead.
You said something here just a minute ago that I want to talk about. Okay. You said, no, they don't have true journalism. They have citizen news.
I didn't say they didn't have true journalists. I said they have citizen journalists.
Okay, they have citizen journalists, news. Mm-hmm. But citizens can't report the news.
Why not?
Because they don't have, for one, and I don't want to say they don't have any training, because who knows what they may have, but they're not held to a standard of reporting as journalists who are paid to do this. A citizen journalist can say whatever they want to say, and that's where I was going with this, because I looked at Before It's News. I went in and looked at their how can you report, and one of the things that they say is anybody can post anything on their website, and it's not verified.
Right. That's because they can't verify everything. See, this is the problem with our society. We've been trained to believe that people have to have a certain piece of paper on the wall or a certain number of hours of training or something to verify that they're qualified to do something. In reality, that's not true, because your qualifications come from the gifts that God gives you and the training you give yourself, because the passions you have, and each person has their own level of integrity. And no, not mainstream journalism does not have integrity. They're part of the cabal.
Okay, but one of the things that I'm pointing out to is they have no accountability. So I wouldn't want to take information from somebody that just has. That's the same as me going to have a surgery done. I don't want somebody, a citizen, performing a surgery on me just because they might know what they might be doing. They don't have, for one, they don't have the training. They don't have the accountability. They don't have the standards and they don't know the requirements. Just as these citizen journalists that are posting things on all these alternative news sites, they don't have the I agree with you. Just because they don't have a paper on the wall doesn't mean that they can't be a good journalist. I agree with that.
Freedom of speech, my brother. We're Americans.
Absolutely, and I agree with you wholeheartedly. However, if they don't have the training, they don't know the requirements to good journalism. They don't know you got the requirements, the standards that they should be aspiring to. And so because of those things, they just put anything out there.
And some people put all kinds of stuff out there. But the thing is, okay, did you know that doctors are the number 3 cause of death in America? And they're qualified. So so when you have a surgeon, how much do you really know about your surgeon or your pilot that's flying your airplane? I don't meet each one of them personally.
No, you don't. But I do meet my doctors, and I do because I've had a lot of health issues. I do make sure I look into what these doctors do. I look at their reviews. I look at all of that because I've had a lot of medical issues. And so yes, I do that.
That's good. I'm glad you do that.
I'm on a personal level with all my doctors. Matter of fact, I left one of my doctors. It was a black doctor, as a matter of fact, because I thought he was a quack.
Well, because you did your research.
I did my research.
The evidence that you saw showed you what action you needed to take.
Absolutely.
Right. So with people who report things, it's the same thing. If their reporting is accurate, and if they're found not to be accurate, to be inaccurate, and they come back and say that was wrong, this is the correction, when they display integrity, when they have a track record of giving the news, presenting it, evidence, and nobody's 100% because things keep changing and things are hidden. But like I don't know if I sent it to you, but one of the persons that I do follow, I say she's about 90% correct. And the reason I say that is because 10% of that, we can't verify that. It's unknown. We won't know till it happens. So there's some speculation in that or other reporting that they've gotten. So there are certain people that I know that there's one person I know I can trust absolutely. That's Ezra Cohen Watnick, because he's the head of the NSA. And I'm on one of his channels. So I watch his information daily. And he lets us. Ezra Cohen Watnick. He's the great grandson of John F. Kennedy Jr. I'm sorry, the grandson of John F. Kennedy Jr., not great grandson. So Ezra Cohen Watnick is like the number 3 man in charge of the U.S. military. You have Marine General, and you have another gentleman in charge of DNI, I believe, or DIA, and then Ezra Cohen Watnick runs the intelligence agencies. So there are certain people that on their channels I know are very accurate. He's, of course, the head of intelligence. He knows before it goes. That's why I know. See, I've read things before over the months, many months last year. And then when Ezra Cohen Watnick's channel came around, he actually verified a lot of the things that I've been reading last year. And then other sources have verified different things. So that's why I'm so firm in what I'm saying. And that's why I put that dinner out there. So I'm that confident in my information, my sources.
So you telling me somebody is working in the government, it has a web page or a podcast, and he's telling government secrets?
No, Ezra he reveals certain things that we need to look for. He throws out hints on his channel. No, he doesn't give us timelines. He doesn't give us where the battles are and all that, but he brings out things that are relevant. So for instance, he put out some information about the Giants. And so he discussed and explained different things. He put out information about how there are 777 books of the Bible that the Vatican's been hiding, the other 711. and that they've actually changed things in our 66 books. What else? He showed pictures of the gold in the tunnels down in the Vatican. There's a 150-mile long tunnel under the Vatican that had all these precious metals, golds, books, paintings, all kinds of precious things that they've been collecting and stealing for centuries. All that stuff's been flown out. The Vatican's shut down. They're closed because they're all gone.
Now, hey, there you go. Now, you said that up kind of at the beginning when you came on about how DC is shut down and this is shut down and all this stuff is shut down. So, again, wherever you're getting your information from, how are you getting that information that nobody else seems to be able to get?
You have to look for it.
Get to.
I can send you lots of links. I don't want to do that. I'm not going to do that.
No, I'm asking you that. How do you get that nobody else that got 20 years, not even old school Walter Cronkite can get this type of information, but Victor in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, sitting at his chair can get that information that nobody else knows. It's secret. Nobody else can find it. Like you just said, America or whoever was blowing up Chinese in Canada, but nobody never heard of it. No inkling, no nothing.
They heard the explosions, but then they said it was earthquakes, but it wasn't earthquakes. It became an earthquake. Okay, God has given me a gift on the web. I can find, if I look for something, I can find the information.
Well, anybody can find information if they want to look. I mean, it's just
exactly.
I can find information saying that the earth is flat out there. There's plenty of people out there saying the earth is flat.
But then you look for the evidence.
The reality is it's not. So you can find whatever you want to find out there.
But you have to have discernment with that.
Right. Yeah.
I'm a man of prayer. I have discernment that God gives me, and he shows me. For instance, I wake up one morning. This has nothing to do with what we're talking about.
Okay.
I wake up one morning, and the Holy Spirit tells me, son, you need to get some supplements for circulation. And I said, okay, where am I going to get it? You know, my doctor who taught me about nutrition, he's passed away. Where do I look? Where do I start? Go to your computer. I don't remember what I looked in search engines. I don't know what I typed in. Something about circulation, nutrition for circulation or something. And I found 5 spots within a mile and a half of where I live. And I asked the Lord, I said, which place do I go to first? The one on the right. So I went up the street from my house, not even a mile away. I walked in the door. It turned out it was a nutritional pharmacy. Didn't know it was there. I walked in and the pharmacist comes out of his area back there and greets me, and I come in. Hi, I'm Victor. I said, I'm looking for something for circulation. I need something for circulation. He points me to one product and says, well, this is pretty good, but let me take you to the one that not only works better, everybody comes back and gets this one, but it also costs less. And so it works, bro. I take my stuff for circulation. It reduces, eliminates possibilities of blood clots. It's good for varicose veins. It's excellent. It comes. It's a product that was manufactured in France from the orange peel, inside of the orange peel. But how did I know that? Because I have a personal relationship with Christ, and he told me when I woke up. So it's not a matter that Victor is some genius. No, I ask, I pray, I try to listen to what he's saying. When I worked at Langston, I was a webmaster. First, I was in public relations. Then I got fired. Then they hired me back. They had to. And they put me in the ITS department, and I was put in as the webmaster. And when I finally was given permission in prayer that it was time to leave after about 7.5 years, I talked to my CIO, and I told him, I said, all these many times you would come to me and say, Victor, I have a project I need you to do. I said, many times I've never done anything like that. I didn't even know where to start. But guess what? I said, while you're telling me what you needed for the assignment, the Holy Spirit was talking to me and telling me what I need to do when I get back to my office, what to look up, where to go, use this program, do this, do that. I said, and so I come back to you with the finished product, not because I was some genius, but because I'm asking the master. He's the one that put me there. I didn't even want to be there. So it's not about, people can research things. Everybody has gifts. But when you're led to certain things, When I found out about the voter fraud, what was going on, and the satellite from Italy, and I saw the Chinese, I've got information from people that lived on the islands in Canada, not too far from Seattle, that they had Chinese troops. They were marching on the island. The people couldn't even go to their island and enjoy it.
Do they have
eyewitness
video of that?
accounts?
Do they have if they saw it, did they video it? Everybody got a camera videotaping stuff.
That's right. So I see videos, I see photos, I see people with personal testimonies, and they're showing the troops marching. Okay, then I get another report about troops underground on the other side of the country, up above Maine or somewhere underground. I find out Joe Biden has some property up there. There's a lot of underground, huge underground tunnels in cities and so forth worldwide. And how did I find out that they got destroyed? So I saw nothing in the mainstream media, but in alternative news and other people's personal accounts, the explosions, the F-16 jets that were flying low over their homes, and how it was supposed to be an earthquake, but it wasn't. They bombed the underground facility where the CCP was hidden and in a bunker, and took them all out. And then the new Canadian president, she confirmed. Now this happened earlier in the year. The new president of Canada, Prime Minister of Canada, confirmed on her channel. That's another person that very truthful. Now she kind of reveals a few things to let you know, because she's not playing. She says, "I do not play politics." She's serious, and she's liberating her country. And she has the alliance, which now is more than 30 countries worth the U.S. working against all these bad guys. The alliance is taking these people out. This bad. It's a very spiritual battle that has manifested itself in reality. Satan has been running this world system. And in short order, some of the things that I've mentioned, you will know, or at least you will see from other sources, because the next EBS message is going to be the real deal.
So let me ask you this. So
test, I should say.
You always say that you're going to see, it's all going to come out. It's going to be revealed. So if it's in the process of happening, then why aren't the people that's in the know that know it's going to happen? Hey, why wouldn't it be even better to beat mainstream media to what's happening and show mainstream media up to say, hey, this is what happened. We're beating y'all to it. Da, 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 da. So, I mean, why don't they just do that then?
They sign NDAs, which I'm sure they have some very serious penalties, non-disclosure agreements.
Now, what kind of journalists are signing NDAs?
Well, I don't know about journalists if you're talking about mainstream media.
No, I ain't talking about mainstream. I'm talking about the people that has all this information that you always keep saying.
Like Simon Parks and Dr. Robert Steele.
Yeah, so like I said, it seemed like they would want to make the mainstream media look bad by going ahead and putting out this information, showing the mainstream media up, saying this is what's going to happen. This is how it's happening. You got underground bunkers here. You got people getting killed. You got kids over here getting kidnapped. We saving the kids. The army is doing this. It seemed like if that's really going on, that they will put that out there and show up the mainstream media and show people what's really going on, instead of saying, well, it's going to happen. I can't tell you now, because that really don't make no sense.
No, they actually have given us some evidence, but
Giving who some evidence?
Well, like I said, I have the evidence.
That's what I'm saying. You got it. How you got it, and we ain't got it.
It was all on my Facebook page till Facebook canceled me out because they didn't like me saying what I was saying.
Okay, I'm letting
you can go to my MeWe page. You can go to my chat. I have a video page too that has a bunch of stuff about McDonald's and the jab and all kinds of things. But the reason they canceled me out, even Google did something to me, is because they don't want that information out there. That's why they canceled me out. Why would they be threatened by me?
Well, I don't think it's so much. I think that, and this is the problem that they're running into, that what the social media is running into, is the misinformation. The misinformation is very dangerous. It is dangerous to our country. It's just dangerous. And we do live in a country where you have the right to say whatever you want to say, but you can't scream fire in a theater. Okay. And so these social media platforms are saying the same thing. Yes, you do have the right to say whatever you want to say, but we don't want all this misinformation that is being spewed by all these conspiracy theorists to get, just to
By all these victors,
cloud,
by all these victor drivers.
I
Yeah.
didn't say that. I didn't say
I'm cool
that.
with it. I'm
But-
cool with it. It's
but
fine.
I think that they're wrestling with the problem of trying to how to police what people are saying on their platform, while at the same time giving people and our First Amendment right is not to private companies. That's the reason why you can't yell of fire in the theater, because
Okay, but as long as it's not
a
breaking,
private company. So your First Amendment right is basically a governmental right. The government can't tell you what you can and cannot say, but a private company can.
Well,
If
the
I
social-
work someplace,
but the social media companies, the reason they were exempt from certain things is because they weren't going to control freedom of speech unless it's something that broke the law, like that was dangerous, or you see somebody committing suicide on live, you want to take that down, or somebody's threatening somebody, okay, those kind of things, legal things, civil things, but they do not have the right. That's why they're all being sued for $500 trillion, and they're going to lose. I'm getting ready to get me some money.
you let me know when you get that money.
I'm going to send you a link to that, and to there's another one.
Are you in the class action suit?
I will be. I've got my evidence now, so now I'm gonna go in and.
But you're not in it right now.
No, but I will be before the end of this week, because
Okay.
I want to make sure I gather all my stuff, my letters I sent to my senators and congressmen, and then the screenshots I took of what Facebook told me and Google and so forth. So I have evidence of how they illegally censored me and shut me down. That's why I said I'm gonna get some money.
Okay. Well, like I said, you let me
So
know.
are you, though. You're gonna get some money too.
No,
Every U.S. citizen is going to get some money because of Nasara.
Okay. Oh. Okay. Well, let's not go there. So actually.
Oh, that's right. Sorry, I was supposed to go off track. I'm sorry, man. I have all this stuff up here. It's like
I know.
I want to tell it.
One of the things, one of the reasons why I'm on here with you, Victor, is because I'm not trying to change, what you think, and I know you're not trying to change what I think or what I know and all of that kind of stuff. I'm here because I'm interested in knowing why people as yourself think and do think the way you think, and do some of the stuff that you all are doing. And so that's one of the reasons why I agreed to get on here with you and debate and just have a little fun, just to kind of find out,
information.
Some of those
you're
different
curious.
things. So one of the
Cool.
things that I'm very interested in knowing.
Hold up, Reese. Before you ask that, I got to ask this again. I got to get clarification on something.
It's supposed to be silent.
On January the 6th, you like the rest of the Republicans, there was no insurrection. That was just a regular party just visiting the Capitol, right? That's what you believe?
That whole thing was staged by Antifa, our rogue Congress people like Pelosi and so forth. That was we call that. It was a military. That was a psyop to confuse people. But the military, the good guys, the U.S. military took advantage of that and got those laptops out of a lot of those offices, so they could find out what they were communicating about and to whom, and they found more connections to the CCP from our Congress. There's Republicans and Democrats who were on the bad side, not just Democrats.
Okay, but hold on a minute. You said that was a thing staged by Antifa. That was something staged. Why is it then, if that was staged by Antifa, why is it all the people that are being tried in court that are pleading guilty? Listen to me, Victor. They're not being ramrodded and they're not going to trial. These people are pleading guilty. They are MAGA, hat-wearing, card-carrying Trump supporters that went there to stage a coup, to stage an insurrection. And that's not Antifa. That's not, what's her name? The House
Pelosi.
Leader,
Yeah.
Pelosi. These are people that are actually pleading guilty.
Well, all I can say about that
and they're
is,
not Antifa.
well, but you don't know that they're not. You're going to find out. I don't know what they're going to say on the EBS message, but the police stood down and let them help them. They let them in and helped them break in. And there were Trump supporters that went in, but they weren't the ones who broke in. They were behind the people that actually broke in. And
so let me say, now I do have a conspiracy theory on this whole deal about the police, the Capitol Police, the National Guard, that whole thing. My theory is Trump told everybody to stand down. That's what I believe went on. I believe Trump instructed. That's what they.
Oh, you mean like the military and National Guard? He told them to stand down.
That's the reason why. Listen, that's the reason why the Republicans do not want an investigation to go forward. Why is it they don't want that investigation to go forward? Why don't they want to get to the bottom of the truth? Why don't people want to know the truth?
I don't know that they don't. I guess that's being reported in the other news. So I probably need to watch the mainstream news more often so I can really know what they're saying.
So let me fill you in real quick.
Yeah.
Congress tried to get a bipartisan committee to conduct an investigation. They wanted Democrats and Republicans to do, because they felt like they all were threatened that particular day. So they was going with, and then initially, what's his name? The Senate guy,
McConnell.
Initially, McConnell was on board with a bipartisan commission to investigate. Trump came out and said, no, we don't want an investigation. And so McConnell had the Senate. They had already negotiated who was going to be on this panel. And McConnell came in at the last minute and said, no, we're not doing it. So then they go back to the House, and Nancy Pelosi said, okay, well, I'll get a committee. I'll do a select committee. And we still want Republicans on the select committee. So she asked the minority leader to recommend people to put on the committee. Only thing he want to put on is those hotheads. He want to put Jim Jordan on there.
Oh, man.
Yo, man. That's your man? Okay.
Well, I hope at some point in the future that you guys will be presented with actual video, and it will show you what was going on the grounds with that whole incident. And
I hope so too. But they're doing an investigation to get to the bottom. But as I said, and it's only a theory. I have no idea. I can go on somebody's website and I can put out there, Donald Trump told the police and the National Guard and everybody to stand down during the insurrection. I can go out there and put that out there, and people would believe it.
Yeah, because you're not gonna do that because you have integrity. You're not gonna do that.
Right. I'm not gonna do that. But I'm saying that everybody's not like me though. So you do have people out there that's gonna put stuff out there that's not true.
On any and every side, that's true.
On both sides. Oh, I agree with you wholeheartedly. Yeah. But so I'm saying to you is, why don't they want to have an investigation?
Well, I think we'll find out. We're gonna find out. I kind of know. I've seen video on the ground of what's going on with the MAGA encounters with the police, telling the police, "Why are you letting these people do this? How come you're not doing anything?" And they just turned around and walked away. They wanted it to happen.
See, I wondered what video you saw, because the video that I saw, police were getting beat up. Now that's the video that I saw.
Okay. Well.
So you send me. You said you got a video. You send that video to me. I want to see it, and
I'll
send
find
you a video where the police are getting beat up.
Okay.
And then
I like to see that
by people that got MAGA hats on and saying, "Save Trump, protect the vote. I mean, protect the election."
Yeah, and there was.
Why would Antifa be there? And we won. Biden won
because the whole purpose is division.
Oh,
you keep the people divided and fighting among themselves, and while they're doing that, we will control everything: the food, the water, the medicine, everything. and they will make money and be slaves for us. And that's what's been going on. The black against white, all these men against women, different religions against one another, all these divisions people are fighting over and stuff, instead of actually seeing what's really going on, because we're so busy trying to survive. That's why. And there's been reports, but I have to really reach back for that video, where they actually videotape the other side putting on the MAGA stuff. So that's why I'm saying there's all kinds of military strategies that have gone on that to deceive the public. So I don't have all the answers, but I know that that's not what happened.
How we know that's not how we know that putting on stuff saying that they're Antifa or somebody else. You see how that can always work? You're saying, well, I got video actually showing that that's Antifa, but like that can be a Republican putting on Antifa stuff and then jumping in there, actually a MAGA, but then saying I'm Antifa, whoever they say they are. So see, you can play that game all day back and forth.
But that's why you would look at the evidence, you look at the videos for yourself, so you can determine and answer those questions. But like Reese is gonna share some stuff with me, and I'm gonna share some stuff with him, so then we can see what the other person's seeing, and then you can probably determine it and answer some of those questions, if not all of them.
But if you don't see a video from the beginning of how everything worked, started just like
people can stage things,
just like a police shooting or whatever, you're like, hey, we only saw it at this point, so we don't know what happened up to the point of getting shot. So same thing. If we don't see somebody saying, hey man, guess what? Let's do this. We know we Trump lovers and we support Trump. Let's go get some outfits and say we're Antifa and dress up and let's go in there and start some stuff. If you don't see that, then everything else you see, you got to take it with a grain of salt on both sides, no matter who you're talking about. So that's the whole thing with videos and all that kind of stuff.
Well, that's why you have to pray for discernment.
I still want to know if Biden and Kamala and everybody else is not the real people, where the real people at?
Gitmo, baby.
Oh, so
they're still there.
Oh, that's
some are not at Gitmo because they've already received their military tribunal judgment.
So now are they going to be sentenced to death? Because that means they can never show up again.
I think I'm pretty sure. Let's say I'm 70 to 80% sure that we're going to see some videotape confessions of people who are no longer here, and that would be the Bushes, the Clintons, and the Obamas, and many other people who've been doing some dirt. Starting with H.W. Bush. He was one mastermind behind the attempted assassination of John F. Kennedy. He's taking shots at Reagan. FBI files are, matter of fact, I can send you a link to the FBI files. You can look through that yourself.
Okay, there you go. Who getting FBI files, Victor?
That's just been released.
Huh?
That has been released. Trump had ordered that stuff released before he.
FBI files.
Tried to kill John F. K.
George H.W. Bush, he was behind that. Yeah.
Oh, and that's what it says in FBI files.
It's you can see it for yourself.
All right, Reese's the researcher on that. I'll let him handle it.
There's so much. You know what? There's so much stuff. When you guys, at some point, when all this stuff is, well, all of it's not going to be revealed because I don't know how they're going to do that. It's taken me a year to get this little bit I do know, which is a lot of stuff. But at some point, when many of these things are explained, and when you see people actually confess to what they did, the human trafficking, like Oprah, Mother Teresa, who's really a guy, and the father of Dr. Fauci, when you see this stuff, you're going to be tripping out. You're going to be going, what? Why? But the whole purpose of it was to keep us as their slaves. Did I send you the birth certificate information?
No.
Dang, okay, I'm out on my job. Yeah, we were basically human chattel. I was worth $7,500.
Oh, you did send me something about the bonds. Is your birth date or something like that?
Right. Use your birth certificate, serial number, and your birth month. And
that didn't work for me.
Did you find the?
You sent me a link to something, and I
maybe if we have time, maybe when we're off the air, we can walk through that, and I can show you how I got. My value was like $80-something thousand after 40 years. Yeah. The interest on my labor.
So I got one more. I think we got about 10 minutes left. I got one more.
Is it already been an hour? Dang.
It's already been an hour, Victor.
We haven't talked about too much. But it's good to see you guys either
we
way.
ain't talked about too much. I know. It's good to see you too.
Yeah.
But I do have more. So here's one of the things that I recognize is that there are a lot of people out there that believe or think and believe like you do. And assuredly, like they say, 74 million people voted for Trump. But we live in a democracy that says majority rules. And so
actually, we live in a republic.
Okay.
And it's representative government, so it's not necessarily majority. So in other words, a person could have the popular vote and still lose.
Right. Yes, that's true.
Because we're representative
republic. But in this particular instance, the person who got the popular vote did win. So
yeah, he did, but it's not the person you think.
Okay. So, okay, let me get to what.
Okay, I'm sorry, I'm interrupting you.
My point is, with all this going on, why are conservatives and Republicans hell bent on keeping minority people from voting?
How do you figure that?
Well, they're trying to change. Okay, how do I figure that?
Yeah, I mean, why? What are they doing?
The reason why I say that is all the different states are passing new voter laws that restrict the way people can vote, and it hits hardest with minority people. And I give you, for instance, see, whenever I talk to you, I make sure I have facts to back up stuff. Okay, so here's the fact. Let's take Texas. Texas discovered that because of the pandemic, more people would vote if they had more time to vote. Okay. Now our country, it used to, I think when I was a kid, or when I first started voting, you got to vote one day between 7 and 7, and that was it. But as time has grown on, as the population has increased, they found out that, well, that's a little bit difficult to have 300 million people in the United States vote all in the same day. So they started expanding the time. So last year, Texas expanded their time to have 24-hour voting. So you got people that work all night long and they sleep all day. And so they didn't used to vote. But because they had 24-hour voting, they could go vote when they got off from work at 6 o'clock in the morning or before they went to work. But these are mostly minority people, because it's mostly minority people that are blue collar workers. So Texas passed a law that we cutting back that voting 24 hours. You can't vote 24 hours. Why? That's not fraud. That's not anything like that. So you got all these different states. You got Texas, Georgia, Arizona, all these Republican-held states that are trying to restrict minority people from voting. And then my simple question is why?
Well, why do you assume they're trying to restrict minority people voting? Maybe perhaps they're keeping the time limit down to a day, depending on what their constitution says, whether you're talking state voting or federal, like the presidential election. But maybe they're doing that to reduce voter fraud.
But how's that reducing so much voter fraud?
Well, for instance, when on the night of the election for the presidential election in November, you're supposed to do that and have everything's supposed to close that night. But they shut the vote. They stopped the vote count, and then they started cheating, bringing in busloads of votes and sending stuff over. And then
Victor, that has not been proven.
It has been proven.
Please, no, it has not. It has not been.
It has.
No, it's only been speculation. It has not been proven.
Did you watch
a busload of ballots that came in? It was only speculation.
You have affidavits from even Democrats who witnessed these things. And that's why people are going to jail. You're just not aware of it because the mainstream media is not reporting accurately what's really going on because they're part of the cabal. That's the first thing once you can get past the point of saying, I have to trust Walter Cronkite. No, you don't. You need to trust but verify.
These are Republican states. Hey, these are Republican states, Republican ran voter police, and they said themselves there's weren't no fraud. So then how y'all turn around and say, no, there's fraud on your own people that were running everything? Come on.
Because there are also Republicans who are part of the cabal. See, for me, it's not about the Democrat or Republicans. It's about what is right and what is true. We're Americans. And the people who've been running this world system has us divided and fighting, and they've been running us into the ground. That is going to cease. So that's going to stop.
Let me tell you my theory. I'll tell you my theory, because a lot of this conversation is about theory, because you haven't given any fact. You keep saying evidence, but you haven't given any evidence. You say, well, there's plenty of evidence of this, there's plenty of evidence of that, but I like to talk fact. So, but what I'm getting ready to say now is theory. It's not fact. But I believe that Republicans are trying to restrict the vote because they are scared shitless that minority people are getting more power in this country.
I don't think that's a concern. Wow. Because because I don't think in those terms. First of all, I'm nobody's minority. But I'm just saying, this is what I'm saying. I'm nobody's minority. I'm not above anyone else, and I'm not below anyone else. My goal is to be the best person that God wants me to be. So I don't look in the mirror and consider myself a minority to anybody. I'm second to nobody, but I'm not above anybody. See what I'm saying? How we were programmed to divide.
That's how they treat you, though. I
don't care how they treat me, because they no matter what they do or say, whoever they are, black or white or whoever they are, because there's people who do bad against me who are all kind of races and colors and creed. That does not determine who I am. They don't have the ability to tell me or define who I am. My determination and who I am, my identity comes in my relationship with Jesus Christ. And I'm a Christian, and I'm an American citizen. If anybody has a problem with that, then we have a problem. And I'm not succumbing to those rules.
Everything you just said is true. But the thing is, if just like you said, if you try to go somewhere and get a loan and they see your color, hey, put a little check.
I'll still find another way to do what I need to do, because there's 10,000 other banks.
But you have you still have to see that it exists.
That's fine. That's life.
That you still treat it as a minority.
But
it makes no difference how you believe. It's what they believe that you are, not what you believe that you are. That's how they try to keep you down.
Does not define me, nor does it limit me. Because, brother, I worked in the HBCU, and at the HBCU, I'm telling you, I worked at HBCU where they discriminated against me.
Okay, but
so it's not about the color; it's about ideology. I don't care about your color. I don't care about where you came from. I care about what you believe in.
Okay,
I care about how you treat me.
Let me ask you this, Victor. How many black people have the power to deny your loan? How many black people have the power to redline where you live? How many black people have the power to do that type of stuff?
Well, it depends on where I live and where I go. I don't know the numbers, but there are people who have it.
But you haven't run into any black people that have that kind of power to keep you down.
I had a woman at Fort Sill because of something.
I ain't talking about no little jobs. I ain't talking about no little jobs.
Who was denying me a job. She was denying me a job that was promised to me. She wouldn't even interview and process my paperwork. She was a black woman. See what I'm saying? It's not about the color. It's about the heart.
It's about it. But okay, it's just.
I agree with you to a certain
I'm not going to divide on that.
Yeah, to a certain extent. That's it. But black people don't have that type of power.
You live in a society. Yes, everything that you said about yourself being an individual, I agree with you. But with that said, you live in a society that you are part of a race that is the minority race.
I'm a part of the human race. I'm sorry. No. See, people can stop me. They can do whatever they want to do. But what God has for me is for me. I don't worry about that. I don't automatically assume because somebody doesn't give me a loan that they didn't give me the loan because of my color of my skin. I don't assume that automatically. What I'm going to do is sit down with the banker. Well, what can I do? What needs to be done on my business plan? What do I need to change? I don't try to assume I know their heart, because I can't know their heart. I can only know their actions, and I can't always know the reason behind their actions. I'm not going to waste my time with that. I'm going to move on and do what I got to do. See, that's just a different way of looking at it. I'm sorry,
Well,
I'm not going to limit myself that way.
Okay,
We're human beings. We're part of the human race. I'm
Exactly.
sorry, I can't
Okay,
go with that.
You're part of
Well,
the human race.
and I agree.
I'm not sorry. I'm not sorry.
That same human race and that constitution that y'all was talking about, how much of a fifth did it give you as a person, as a
I'm not concerned about that compromise.
But we talking about now. You talking about you believe in the Constitution.
I do believe in the Constitution.
So, but even in that Constitution,
If they
said that you, Victor Driver of dark skin, ain't work with 3/5 of that human race that you said you're a part of.
That's
so
right.
So like
But
I said,
had they not done that,
we're not saying that you have to believe that or whatever. Hey, I'm just like you. I believe the same exact thing. I don't believe in that race stuff. I'm a human, but they believe in it, and they even put it in their constitution.
They had to compromise in order to get away to unite to get away from England.
So they had to compromise by saying black people is going to be 3/5.
They wanted to get if those colonies didn't work together, there would be no United States of America. There's no perfect solution, guys. There's nothing perfect.
Ain't nobody.
People have shed blood for our freedom. People have died and gone through horrendous things, but I'm not living in the past. I'm going to learn from the past.
We ain't living in the past either. We're just saying you just like how you
I'm not concerned about that.
Just like how you acknowledge or you believe that the vice president is not the vice president and Joe Biden is not Joe Biden, and we don't believe that.
I'm sure why you don't believe it.
But you have to acknowledge that paperwork is saying that you were 3/5 of a human. That's
my ancestors were 3/5 of a person.
You can't deny that.
That was then. That was my ancestors. That wasn't me.
But it's still in the Constitution.
And God used that Constitution to build this country that has done great things for this earth.
But is it or is it not in the paperwork?
It is in the paperwork, but that doesn't limit me. I'm not looking at that as a reason to be.
You keep saying it limits you. Nobody's saying that it limits you.
Then why should I be concerned about looking at that as some kind of super negative that I need to harp on and work? That's not part of my life.
Because we were talking about
aware of it.
I'm aware of that. I'm aware of it, but I'm not limited to that, and I'm not ascribing to that.
I'm not limited to it because none of that has never stopped me from doing what I'm doing.
That does not upset me, guys.
But that way, what we were talking about, Victor, you went way off something else on something else about race. That wasn't what it was about.
Let me tell you this. Let me say this, Victor. What you're saying is, I agree with you. I agree with you to a certain extent. However, our society, we have, and it doesn't have to do anything with a person's heart. I've known some people that have really good hearts, but when they're faced with making a decision between someone with your color skin, even though, I know this for a fact. I'm not speculating. I know it for a fact. I used to sit on panels because I was an executive at a state agency for the state of Oklahoma. I worked at a state agency as an executive, okay? I was high up. And a lot of times I sat on these interview panels with doctors. The one that come to mind, well, I can't say his name over air. Okay, Dr. K. I just say Dr. K. Nicest man in the whole wide world. But when we sit on these interview panels and a black person walk in, I tell you, every single dang time, look down at that black person. I don't care what that black person had. I don't care what they walked in.
And that's going to happen.
And they don't know. He didn't know that person from Donald Duck. But because of that skin color, he immediately looked down on that person as a minority.
You're never going to eliminate hatred, prejudice, or the way people think.
That's all we're saying.
But that's all we're saying. That's okay. But all we were saying is that you have to acknowledge that there is a thing of minority. All of us are black. All of us run our own business. All of us make our own money. We're not kowtowing to anybody. But that's not the point. We good with that. We understand that. We've all done it. So that's not what we're talking about. But now you just now recognize. Well, after Reese just made that point, and you said that's going to be there. That's what we were saying. Recognize that it's there. We're not saying that you have to acknowledge that you're a minority and have that type of mindset, but acknowledge
no one's minority. Look, that is just sin, guys. You can go to other countries where they discriminate and do things against their own people because of different things that they look at or how they see things. There's always going to be something with human beings. So I see what's going on and I can speculate on what's going on, but I'm not ascribing. I'm not going with that label. I'm not living my life with that. I don't get up in the morning and say,
we ain't never said you had to. You ain't never had to say that. Again, Victor,
guys,
we totally agreeing with you.
Okay.
See, so get that in your head. We agree with you.
Okay.
We're right there with you. What we're saying is other people don't look at you like that. I'm glad you look at yourself as a proud black Republican, Trump or QAnon man.
I'm not a proud black Republican.
What are you now? What happened? You ain't a Republican no more?
I'm in the Republican Party, but that's not my philosophy. My philosophy is Jesus Christ, dude.
Okay.
That's why I can sit here and say that there's also as evil Republicans that's involved in the cabal because of it's evidence, it's fact. It's not I'm not sticking with somebody because they're in the same party or because they're my cousin. Okay.
No, I was just acknowledging what you told me when we first started this show. When I first talked to you before this show, you said you was black. You said you was a Republican, and that you was a Trumper.
Yes, I am.
And then you saying you a QAnon. So what
I'm a nun. I'm
not
a QAnon.
You're not a QAnon?
There's no such thing as QAnon. There's Q, and there are the nuns.
Oh, you a Q.
No, I'm a nun.
Oh, you are a nun.
A digital soldier. There's no Q a nun. There's Q, and there are the nuns. I'm a nun. I'm a digital soldier. I'm not QAnon.
Okay.
The Q are the group of people, the military intelligence that's running this thing.
Okay, I got you. So, but even everything I named off, except for the QAnon part, was true, and then you're gonna start arguing about.
I'm not arguing with that.
You just said you wasn't a black Republican.
No, I'm saying that is not. I'm telling you that is not my guiding philosophy.
Okay, but we didn't say that. That's what I'm saying. Well, nobody said that. I only acknowledged what you had told me that you was black, you was a Republican, and you was a Trumper.
The only part I got adjectives,
you were not. But I didn't say that you was defined by that. I'm just saying what you told me.
But I want you to understand. Those adjectives apply. Yes.
Okay, that's all I said. Yeah, great. Okay. Yeah, that's what happened when you are a nun. You get crazy and you thinking everybody's after you. I'm just acknowledging what you told me.
I'm fine. And you're supposed to be neutral anyway.
Yes, it is neutral.
Yeah, you're supposed to be neutral, host.
I am neutral. Put
the hammer down. Put the bat down.
Let me silence everybody's mic. Click, click, click. I did not say anything that went one way or the other. I described him exactly as he described me. And so I just described back to him what he told me in the beginning. Okay. So how is that going one way or another? No.
All I'm trying to do is get you guys to see that the squabbling over all this crap has to stop.
I agree.
We agree
wholeheartedly.
It has to stop. Yeah. The black on black crime, all the stuff.
Okay, now I'm gonna get with you on that. Ain't no such term as black on black crime. What that mean?
Exactly. I agree.
Now, ain't no black on black crime.
You want the FBI statistics?
It's crime.
Right, but you want to talk.
Is there a white on white crime? Is there Asian on Asian crime?
Yeah.
Is there woman on woman crime?
Because there's more white on white crime than there is black on black crime. So
crime is crime. If we all humans, then it ain't no black crime, white crime, Asian crime. It's just crime against humanity.
I'm talking with the words that are used in the mainstream media when they're trying to say that cops are killing all the blacks, and that's not true.
Okay, like we were talking about mainstream media when we say they look at us as minorities. Same thing.
Well,
that's all we're saying. Same thing. Same thing.
They can look at it that way, but
okay.
Sorry guys, I'm still crazy. I'm actually crazier than high school.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah, you are.
Because I'm actually even more.
But guess what? I'm gonna love your crazy self as you pay for that dinner up there in the Reunion Tower on January 2, 2022.
I have a question. When you guys find that Trump is the 19th president, who's buying my dinner?
Hey, we'll do the same for you.
Okay.
Can you see my hand?
I see you. I got you.
My hand's up.
All right.
Yeah. Well, we not
have
worried.
Your money, have your credit card, your money, whatever. Have it ready.
Hey, we ready.
I won't order too much. I can't eat that much anymore.
I'm making reservations in your name because you paying for everything.
That's fine. The reservations are fine, but when all is said and done, it's going to be a much better place for a little while.
Okay, well, man, I just thought about something. Was it something that you just texted something not too long ago? Say, oh, I guess that didn't happen. What was that about?
Was that about the EBS?
I don't remember.
Yeah, it was about the EBS message. Yeah. So what happened with that is 88% of the EBS message that was supposed to happen. Oh, no. That was before the actual EBS message. That was somebody saying that something was going to happen that day or something with the EBS message. So, no, it didn't happen. Okay. I got excited. I wanted it to happen.
I know. And the same way that didn't happen is the same way Trump ain't never getting back in office in 2021. Just like that. So, ladies and gentlemen, we love that
I'm glad we have this on tape because you're gonna be eating those words.
We love that
I won't take any jabs at you. I'll just look at you and smile. I won't say anything.
Okay. I'm gonna fall out laughing at you. So
why you eating your steak?
Hey, I'm gonna open the window to Reunion Tower with a megaphone. Victor was wrong.
And there he is. All right, man. I'm Victor. I was wrong.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was our time. We appreciate you guys tuning in and checking out the show. It's not political. It's personal. It's not personal. It's political. Until we pop on again next time, that is Juarez McCann, a.k.a. Reese, and Victor Driver Sr. Hey, we'll see y'all next time. Have a great rest of your evening.
All right. Thank you. Later on, Victor.
Love. So